because we are out here with another episode of the SOS Podcast. What's up, everybody? What's up? This is B. You know what it is, 1/3 of the SOS. We out here live on the interwebs. See what we got popping. Where everybody at? Just trying to see where all my people's at. Get it on and popping. We're on StreamYard today. So either y'all can go to our YouTube page, y'all know what it is, or y'all can go to this address right here. Come hit us up, hang out with us. We appreciate the traffic, What's up, everybody out there on the internet? We'll be trying to get it popping, y'all. What's up? We had a lot of interesting stuff going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Lavendar, what's up? Please head to this address, Lavendar, if you want to join and continue with the show. We trying to get it popping over there. Share that out with everybody. Screenshot it, do whatever. Slick, what's up, brother? See this address right here? We getting it popping over there. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down for the SOS crew tonight. If y'all can screenshot that, head to that address, I'd be much appreciated. Go ahead, head there, and we will continue from there. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew where we was at. You feel me? Tonight, getting it popping. Was it Tenzin said he might be in later, but as of right now, y'all got me holding it down for the SOS crew tonight. Hold that up there. Make sure everybody get a chance to see it. But yeah, man, we out here. Another episode of the SOS over on StreamYard. Or y'all can just hit up our YouTube page too. We're live on YouTube as well. So we should be able to see that. But yeah, what's up? What's popping in the world? Let's see. We got the Democratic National Convention going during this past week. You know what it is. I think Michelle and Barack spoke yesterday. I believe, did Kamala speak yet? I think Kamala spoke the first day. I know Biden spoke the first day. Yeah, man. Had a lot of interesting stuff. Hold up. Got some traffic coming through. We're going to add Lavendar to the stage. Lavendar, if you can hear me on deck. Hey, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna turn on my camera in a second. I gotta get my lights on and everything.
You all good. It's all good. We just chilling. Ain't no real, requirements for chilling. You know what it is, how we do on some of these Wednesdays. We just chilling. I was just discussing things that's happening in the world. What's been going on with you, Lavendar?
I lost Luna, as y'all saw, sadly.
Right, right,
But I
right.
did get a new cat as of Saturday. So, new life, new parenthood. So, more than I can ask
Right.
for.
Right. What's the name of the new critter?
Her name is Mira.
Mira. Okay,
Right.
okay. Um and what's she like? How old is she?
She is about 6 months old. Her birthday is close to mine, so back in April. Very sweet, very calm compared to the baby.
Okay.
But she was instantly purring before I even touched her. I was like, "Yeah, you're the one. You're coming home with me."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and nothing but a sweetheart since day one. So
That's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up. And was it so she's not actually a baby, you said?
Uh, not a young baby like Luna was. Like, 'cause Luna was basically a newborn when I got
Right.
her. She's about 6 months old. So.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. But yeah, what's going on in the world of cosplaying? What's going on there?
Honestly, I've been on like a mental break to be honest. I did get some collaborations going on. So there's this mobile game that I play called Dislight. It's like a think of it like a hip hop uh futuristic sort of world. So people involved with like the gods and whatnot. So like
Okay.
Hades, all them. Um, and their outfits are all like I said, it's literally hip hop mixed with like futuristic stuff. So it's really cool. Um, I was playing that mobile game for a while, and then they have sponsorships that they give out every couple of months for people to join. So I applied twice, didn't get anything, and then I applied the third time. So now I have an official sponsorship with them that I haven't done a cosplay for yet, but I am getting ready to build eventually. But I'm super excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. What was it? Oh, I think convention season is over, right?
Yeah, convention. Right now, they're getting ready to do Dragon Con down here in Georgia.
Okay.
But as far as that goes, I am way too busy. Uh, and then it's the biggest con in the southeast.
Okay.
So, I know we talked about it before. That con usually takes like 4 blocks worth of
Yeah.
building. So, for
Yeah. No,
me, it's
you had
like if
said.
I were to go, I would do like one day and I'd be good. I don't need like the full 4 days or whatever.
Yeah. Uh. No. Yeah. No. That's what's up. What is it? Let's see. I'm trying to think. What's been going on in the world recently? Let's see. We had a wrap on the Olympics. I don't know if we covered that. Was it? Did you catch much of the Olympics this year?
I was in and out, but I didn't watch the events themselves, but I was in and out catching up through memes and but I
Okay.
pretty much got the gist of it. I was not expecting the breakdancing at all. Like,
I was it, I like there's like a couple break dancers that like I've heard about and kind of follow. So I know
mhm,
like the world of break dancing was kind of excited, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Like it kind of sucks that they only got one chance and they're not going to be able to really come back. Like that's kind of whack. Uh
yeah,
was it because I know a lot of people was hoping they'd be able to improve on it and make it better, but yeah, it was pretty rough this go around, but it would have been cool to see them like do more. I think it's the issue with a lot of like when you have a sport that's so based on like free like the freestyle nature and openness and everything, like it's kind of hard to then make like like set ground rules, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like
agree.
there was no real room for improvisation, like they couldn't repeat moves, they couldn't listen to the music beforehand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like they didn't know what music was being played, like it was all types of weird rules that I guess a lot of them in the sport wasn't really used to,
yeah,
because it's usually more of a like a go with your flow type of sport.
right. I agree. It's it's very weird to hear that they didn't get any more. There's kind of like improvised, but breakdancing, I'm like, you gotta feel the music. So if you don't know what you're
Right,
about to listen to, then everything could be like off. But there can be some people that can just pick it up like that. So,
right.
but
Also, it didn't help that
yeah,
that Australian girl
I
was,
really was expecting.
yeah, that Australian girl was pretty crazy too. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing the
He
way,
was everywhere. Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing. I was
yeah,
like,
it
oh.
was like, yeah, bro, that was crazy.
And then to find out, I think I know some people were saying she cheated to get in there, and then
This
to
shit,
have a score of zero. Yeah, some people were saying, she might have paid her way to get into the sport, but I was like, even then, she didn't even score. She got like a full zero. I was just like,
right?
dang.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even hear anything about that. I was seeing all the other like controversies with what was it? I know there was like the gymnast girl who had to give her medal back because
Right.
like yeah, I was like following that whole situation. That shit was like kind of crazy too because I guess like
Understand it all.
yeah, I guess like, she technically was supposed to have a higher score, but I guess the judges didn't score her correctly on something, and then her coaches like filed an appeal, and then like
Mm.
according to the rules, they were claiming like the coaches filed the appeal 4 seconds too late, and then that and I guess like the person in charge of the rules didn't realize that the appeal was filed too late, so that's why she got the bronze. And then they were like, "Oh well," I guess somebody went and looked back and was like, "Oh, they were 4 seconds off," and so that's why she had
Wow.
to give her medal back. And I was like, "Man, that's some bullshit."
No,
Like,
that's whack. That is
yeah,
bull. That is bull.
yeah, that's
That is
crazy.
fun.
And like, I think like they made her like mail it back.
Wow. Nope. I would have been like, no, y'all gave me this shit fair and square. If y'all had
Yeah,
any problems, y'all could have told me on the stage. That's what you're
exactly.
supposed to tell me is on the stage.
Yeah, especially being 4 seconds off. That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, nah.
Four
Nope.
seconds off. Nope.
Nope. Yep. Y'all would have had to come get that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that's
like,
yeah.
it's your job to judge me. If you're
Mhm.
not telling me everything I need to know right then and there on the stage, what is the point? But
Yeah.
geez,
Yeah, man. That's some bullshit, bro. I don't
it
yeah,
is.
I don't subscribe to none of that shit. I wouldn't
Me either.
yeah, that and the girl's a class act, for sure because
Okay.
like as if for me, if it was me, that wouldn't they wouldn't have got shit back from me.
Oh, nope. I would have kept that right then and there. I was like, y'all should have told me on the stage. Nope.
Yep. Was it my bad. Yeah, no. And then I was trying to think what was like some of the other discourse around the Olympics. Like I know, let's see, like I know there was a lot of people upset. Um, what was the other thing? I'm trying to think. Oh, I heard there was something. There was an issue with the like tennis too. Like one of the black tennis players was claiming that like she was being unfairly judged on the court. Like I heard a lot of black athletes were having issues over there.
Yeah.
So that's just that yeah, that type of stuff is just that's one of the very unfortunate things about being black is like there's not really many places you can go to escape the
Exactly.
discrimination. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
it may not be as bad as stuff you hear about over here, but it's still bad. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember, I think like speaking of tennis, like I believe like Serena Williams used to. I think well, actually, I think Venus and Serena Williams both used to talk about how they was always unfairly judged and stuff and called divas and everything
Oh
on the
yeah.
court for advocating for themselves and everything. So it's just, yeah, the shit is crazy. And yeah, no, that's what is it? I'm trying to think, only other really big
Yeah.
thing in the news, I guess, is like, was it the Democratic National Convention? I know is going on still today.
Yeah.
Uh, was it?
Mhm.
I think Barack and Michelle spoke yesterday, and then I
Yep.
believe the vice. Well, I think that the vice president, Kamala's VP pick, is speaking today too. I think Bill Clinton speaking today. I think on the first day it was Hillary Clinton and did Kamala speak? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really watched a lot of
Yeah.
the coverage surrounding the DNC. I heard it was some pretty great speeches. I heard there was a lot of protests and everything too. So that's kind of you
Yep.
know unfortunate as well. Yeah, I just hope people make the right decisions on who they put in office. That's all I can say. What was it? It's crazy, bunch of craziness.
Yeah.
Trump's still out here trumping. What was it? Yeah, yeah. Politics, is sad and ridiculous,
It is.
but it's like, and you can't force people to vote who you want them for, but I guess the best you can do is try to keep people informed so that they make the right decision and don't fuck it up
Yeah.
for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like
Because
me, I'm not like a politics person, but I will at least hear out what both sides are saying, and I'll pretty
yeah,
much go based off that point. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Uh, what is it? What else was in the news? Oh, Star Wars fans. I don't know if I know a lot of us Star Wars fans were upset. They canceled the Acolyte.
Really?
Um,
That quick?
yep,
Wow.
that quick. Every time we try to get some new shit in Star Wars, it goes kaput because you got old ass fans fucking bitching and moaning about shit constantly all the goddamn time, and they review bomb the shit out of that show,
Uh,
and them poor main cast members are gonna be
right.
wasted. And that show has some of the best lightsaber combat we've had in Star Wars for a long time,
Dang.
and now it's all gone. You know, well, that wasn't they canceled actually a bunch of the live action shows, but yeah, that was the biggest
Yeah.
one. That was crazy, especially because the viewership for it was insane. But
Mm,
it's gone, and now it's just back to the same old bullshit that the same people complain about that other shit too. So
right.
yeah,
I'm
it's
like, y'all really can't be open to new stuff, and then, like I said, it seems like that way with a lot of shows, cartoon and live action. They
mhm.
only last like maybe 1, 2 seasons, and then they're instantly canceled. I'm like, we didn't even get through the main. It's like I knew the person for maybe 2 seconds. All right, I'm gone now. I'm like,
Right.
hi.
Yeah, I think that causes a lot of fatigue for shows.
Right. So it
With
makes me like not
audiences.
watch TV. Like I probably haven't watched like cable TV in a good couple of years because I'm just like anything that I like, it's
Mhm.
canceled already. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, network, cable, streaming. That
Hmm.
happens so many times. It's like instead of, and then especially when it's like big cult audiences too, like
Right.
it'd be different if nobody was watching it, but you have a lot of these audiences are get really big cult followings, and they don't follow up for fear of low ratings or complaints on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like
Yeah.
it is,
Right.
yeah, it's really sad, and it kind of takes the wind from beneath a lot of fans' wings, because then it's like, well, why am I going to waste time, devoting my time to a show that's no
Right.
longer going to come back? And especially
Right.
with Star Wars too, we were living in such a dope past, I want to say almost 10 years. The past like 10 years, we've been living in such a dope time in terms of Star Wars content, especially with the amount of Star Wars content, especially the live action stuff too. And it just sucks that
Yeah.
like most of it has been gutted because a lot of these, and it's not even all of the fan base, it's just the loud vocal ones who bitch and moan about how shit isn't the same and how their heroes aren't the same and all this other stuff, and it's just so fucking whack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's sad. Like we had something new, this the same something new that a lot of these people been claiming they wanted, and now it's gone. So, you know,
Right.
it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's just hard to attach to anything because everything just seems like it's just gonna,
right.
if you hold on too long, at least with the way things are now.
Right. Well, it's like you said too about cartoons. Like I remember back in the day, like it used to suck being a fan of a new cartoon, and then if it didn't sell enough toys, the show got canceled. Like I remember the
Hmm.
biggest one was back when Young Justice first got canceled. Like I remember that took a lot of people out. Same thing with I think it was around the
Yeah.
time Young Justice was on. There was a reboot of the show Thundercats, and it was dope. It had 26 episodes, and it got
Yep.
canceled too. And I remember a lot of people were like, "Yo, what the hell?" And they said, "Yeah, what was it? And they said that yeah, there wasn't enough toy sales to keep the show running. Like, and
Wow.
that shit is crazy."
Yeah.
And then two, I think what a lot of newer companies do that I get upset with too is not only do they cancel a lot of the shows, but then they'll purge. Like they'll either take the show completely off the platform and purge it altogether, or they make it impossible to find like merchandise for the show. Like
Mhm.
I heard Disney just pulled all the Acolyte merchandise.
Wow. That quick. Wow.
Yeah, which is
Right.
insane and is
Yeah.
sad as hell. You
It
know,
is.
uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just had to rant for a little bit because that shit pissed me off. Like, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because most of the hatred against the show was so stupid. Like, people was complaining about there not being enough white people, or people was
Mhm.
complaining because there were lesbian characters and all this other stuff. I'm like, go to hell. Like, this
Right.
is the dumbest fucking shit to be mad about. Like,
Right.
yeah, yeah, I feel bad. I said like we're gonna end up getting to the point, and a lot of the kids who like Star Wars now is gonna end up being like a lot of the people from my neck of the woods when it comes to Star Wars. We're gonna end up getting to a point where so much stuff is gonna get either canceled or taken away that it's gonna end up leaving us in like a drought of Star Wars content. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Star Wars
Yeah.
content never really went away. It was just more so like when I was a kid, I remember I think there was like one cartoon. Well, when I was a kid, there was the movies, and then after those movies came out, there
Mhm.
was the first Clone Wars cartoon, but then that
Right.
only lasted about like a year or so. And then I want to say for about either 4 or 5 years, there was nothing else after that. And if you really wanted to find some Star Wars shit, you had to go find the comic books or the novels. And a lot of mainstream kids aren't looking for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to see cartoons, movies, and stuff like that. And like I said, I think it took almost like 5 or 6 years before the new Clone Wars show came out for
Mm,
kids and everything. And then I remember
right.
actually I think that went off the air for a little bit too. Cause I don't think it ever officially yeah, no, that original show never officially finished. Cause I remember
Mm,
they had to finish it, I think 2 years ago was when they aired the official final season.
ah,
Uh, but yeah, that show never had finished either. Like, it took a long while to get new live action Star Wars stuff because of like, all the hatred and stuff to those other movies and everything. Which like, and
fair.
for real, you don't have to like everything. Like nobody's really saying that. It's more so like the rampant hatred is the shit that be pissing me off. Like, cause then like
Yeah,
that again, that scares the company and causes people to want to run and not do shit no more.
right.
That shit sucks.
Yeah, and then it's like they're not even complaining about like the structure of the show, how
Right.
the actors are, and things like that. They're just face value. It's just face value.
Right.
They're like, oh, there's a lesbian couple there. I'm just like, what does that have to do with the story? Like,
Exactly. Exactly. And then, or they'll try to trash on the structure of the show, but
mm,
then when you press those people, it's really about the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't really
right.
care. Like they don't really
No,
care. Like they're just trying to look for an excuse, to just
right.
hate on and then too, I think a lot of it comes from too a lot of people just hate new shit. Like I've noticed that over
They
the
do.
past couple of years. I think a lot of people now just have this weird nostalgia thing to the point where now no matter what it is, they have to hate on new stuff. Like and they have to
Yeah,
go around complaining about CGI and all this other stuff like that. Like if it's new, they have to crap on it. Otherwise, like they can't deal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, they just have to, like, they're like just addicted to the hatred of it. They need to hate on it. Uh, and then, I think it's also too, again, a lot of the vocal, like, rabid, like, fans of, Star Wars. I think a lot of them don't realize too that, like,
mm,
they're not the target audience anymore. Like, y'all are old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Star Wars
correct.
primarily has always really been for children, or at the very least, like
Right.
young adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, and some of y'all
Hmm.
are in your 30s and 40s mad that Star Wars doesn't make you feel the same as when you first watched it when you was 8. Like, obviously, you're
Right.
an adult now. You're not going to feel the same way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
and you shouldn't feel the same way to be truthful, like, and yeah, I don't know, it's just weird. Like I said, like I've had my complaints about some stuff, and yeah, like you don't have to like everything, but to say that Star Wars is being ruined because you don't like everything, that's the part that I think is crazy.
Right. Like people 30 and up want to just hold on to the same
Right.
boring old story, not even try to branch out beyond that point. They
Hmm.
just want to stick to the same story over and over.
Right.
I'm just like, no, I want to see more than what I was seeing. So, and I
Right.
have moments like where I was like that too. Uh, what's the name? For example, it's not a recent show, but the new Shira that had came out a
Yeah.
few years ago. I was one of those people. I'm like, it's not the old one. I'm not gonna watch it, but I ended up watching it anyway, and I loved it. But
Right.
I was just like, I'm like,
Right.
you gotta give something.
Right. Well, and even if you didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? That was well within your rights to not like it. But yeah, it's different. It's one thing to say, "Oh, I don't like the new show," whereas that's different than going around saying like, "Oh, they ruined the essence of Shira by making it at the X, Y, and Z or whatever this was or whatever.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, the original thing is always going to be there, and
Exactly.
that's why too, I'm not one of those people who gets mad at remakes and reboots and stuff. Like there may be a conversation to be had about like Hollywood doing it. Granted, I'd argue that Hollywood's always done remakes and reboots, but like I can understand how somebody would feel fatigued by a lot of that stuff. But to say
Yeah.
that, like, for instance, that the reboots and remakes ruin the story, like, I don't know, like, again, unless they truly deviate off the path, I don't really see how a lot of these like ruin the story. Like, I'll be honest, the Lion King one that everybody always complain about, I've have since watched both versions of that movie,
Mm.
and yeah, the live action version is the same movie just with two songs switched around. That's it.
Okay.
It's the
I'll
same
laugh.
movie. It's the same premise, like
Yeah.
and there could be an argument to be made that maybe they should have tried to switch it up. I can see that argument.
Yeah.
But when people were like talking about like, oh, it's soulless and it has no soul or whatever, I'm like, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Like
yeah.
I don't really understand where a lot of this is coming from.
Yeah,
Like
and that's the thing with those Disney live actions. It's like as long as the story itself is there,
right.
that's what matters. But that's what see, that's my complaint with the new Snow White. For one, what kind of pissed me off was that they showed the dwarves as CGI. I was like, y'all act like there's not people out there that you could hire to play the dwarves
Well, I'm gonna
instead
be
of
for
wasting
real.
more money with
I'm a
CGI.
I'm gonna be for real. I kind of blame Peter Dinklage for that shit. Like, cause
Yeah.
because when he said what he said, because I've seen people say that, oh, it's not his fault. Disney still could have hired dwarf actors, and yes, that is true to an extent. But
Hmm.
also, I can understand why they'd be scared to do that because he pretty much in his article he pretty much made it seem like if you cast a dwarf person as a dwarf, you're like stereotyping them.
Yes,
And
I
it's
understand.
weird because he made his money essentially off of playing them roles. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
agreed.
and it's like I feel like what he should have said is that Disney needs to write those roles better, like switch
Right.
the dwarves around or add to the character, because that would have been a better argument than straight up pulling the ladder up behind you. That's not
Yeah.
cool. You
Hmm.
know, and Disney, they're a publicly traded company. I can fully understand them wanting to avoid the bad press, and then
Right.
all together was just like, let's just make these fools CGI. I don't agree
Mm.
with them doing it, but I can understand why, especially when one of the most prominent dwarf actors in the industry wrote that. Yeah, that's why I
Mm.
blame Peter Dinklage. Like, I'm like, why he did that, I will never know. That was really wrong of him to do.
Yes.
That's easy for you to say, bro. Like, you made your money. Like,
Right.
but yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah, I blame him mostly for that. However, but I do get why people were upset by the CGI dwarves. However, the one complaint I thought that was crazy was people were boycotting the movie months ago because the chick playing Snow White, Rachel Ziegler, um, she said something offhand really about like how they went with their own direction for the story because the original wasn't like really a positive example for young women, which like I've heard people say that my entire life, and now people's upset at her for saying it. Like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
also, technically, where's the lie? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Snow White
The if
has no
they and that's
character.
my thing. Yeah, that's my thing with these live actions. I'm like, I'm glad y'all didn't take the original, like original. Everybody thinks the Disney is the original. I'm like, no, you
Oh
need to
yeah,
go to the Grim Tales. If they did the Grim Tales, it'd be
right.
worse. But it's Disney, so they try to
Well,
keep
that's
it as
the other
happy as
thing too.
possible.
Like when people cry about, oh, Disney's just rehashing old stories. I'm like, that's what Disney has always done. Like they
Right,
didn't invent
since day
Snow
one.
White. Yeah, like Snow White was not a Disney creation. Like that was a grim
Nope.
fairy tale. Same with Cinderella and all the other ones. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't new. Like Peter Pan was created during like what, the 1850s or whatever. I forgot who the guy who
I forgot
wrote it.
one, but yeah. Mm,
Um, but
mm.
but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, same with Winnie the Pooh. Like Winnie the Pooh was a book. You know what I'm saying? Like Disney's bread and
Yeah,
butter is recreating old like
recreating, right?
red. So people upset about them doing it now. I'm like, okay, if you wanted to stop that, you should have went back to like the 50s when Walt Disney was doing it. You
Really,
know,
the
so
30s, go back to the 1930s, be like, hey, leave that story alone. But then,
right,
you know,
right. Yeah, it is
yeah,
what it is. Like, yeah, I just,
it
I
is
feel
what
like
it is.
people just like I said, it's a mixture of people being like upset with new stuff, and then people also feeling like their beloved stories are being taken away from them. When in reality, you can literally just go watch the original. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
and like I said, like, with the remakes again, I feel like a lot. Well, also too, I always feel like with most things, a lot of the people who complain the most have never actually watched them. Like, I feel like
right.
most people haven't really watched those movies. They just started yelling about it. Like, because I've seen a decent amount of them. I don't think I've seen all the remakes. I've seen the Cinderella one. I've seen the Little Mermaid. I've seen the Lion King, the Jungle Book,
Mm.
and oh, the Lady and the Tramp one. That was like
I
that.
forgot it had one.
Yeah, that one was that was like one of like the first Disney Plus exclusives. Like that was like the first like
Oh, okay.
yeah, so like soon as the app came out, that was like the first like original
Uh,
movie they had on there.
gotcha.
Yeah, it never went to theaters.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, okay.
I mean, it wasn't bad. Then again, as a kid, I didn't really like Lady and the Tramp anyway. Like I thought that movie was mad boring, and I was like the only part I liked was the Siamese cats, and even then, that was mad racist. So I really
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah. So it wasn't really my favorite anyway. The Cinderella one was dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, the Little Mermaid one I thought was dope too. Um,
Yeah, Little Mermaid was good. I watched it recently, I think last month.
I think my favorite
Great.
was the Jungle Book one though. That Jungle Book one was really really good. Like yeah, which is why I was excited for the Lion King one when it came out. Like I
Mm,
said, I enjoy the Lion King one. Granted, I still prefer the cartoon, but
yeah.
the Lion King one I enjoyed. I just yeah, I didn't really get a lot of the complaints for that movie, like especially because when people were like, "Oh, why didn't they just make the skins based off the cartoon and then make
Off the
live action
cartoon.
fur?" And I
Mhm.
was just like, because that'll look scary. Like, what are you talking
That would
about?
look
Like, could you imagine if they just had the cartoon
cartoon
lion
symbol.
and then made it real fur? Like, that would look horrifying. Like, no, I don't want to see that.
Unless
Like,
they use like the graphics that they have at like the rides, like the animatronics at the rides.
uh
But
huh.
then even then it was just like, eh. But I don't know. I don't really care about the real lion part. I'm just like here for the story.
Right.
Now, I am excited about Mufasa because the Lion King Lion Guard TV show went deeper into the backstory of pretty much all the kings before Simba. So I was like, oh, I get to see more
Oh,
of that
okay. See,
stuff.
I
Yeah,
was older when that came out, and then my little siblings was older too, so I didn't really like have no real connection to that show. I
yeah,
didn't know it was about Simba for real.
yeah. Lion Guard is about Simba's son.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but as he's getting ready to descend the throne, he's well, for one thing, he's put on the guard first, so he's like a knight sort of
Yeah.
thing. So he's put as a knight before he becomes like a king. To test his prowess and all that.
Right.
And so during that journey, he finds out more about all his ancestors. So Mufasa, the story of Scar, his great great grandfather, everybody going back. I was like, wow, that is nice.
Now,
The only thing is,
the
mhm,
trailer for this new movie, does it touch on stuff that you learned in that
yeah.
show? Okay, because
From
see,
what I've seen, yeah. Cause
because
the
from what I
movie,
saw, there was
uh-huh.
people really mad. Again, people upset about the trailer, and one of the things they were mad about was the insinuation that Mufasa was adopted.
Oh, yeah. The Lion Guard. I don't think it touched. It didn't touch Mufasa too much. It mainly got into the backstory of Scar
Yeah,
on the side. But I think that's what this Mufasa movie is for, to get more Mufasa's side of things.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it touched a little bit. Cause cause they try to base it off the way lions act in real life too. Cause basically prides just breed with each other.
yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to say exactly where he came from, but I'm excited for that movie because I get to see more stuff. But yeah, the Lion Guard is really good if you want to know more. And then there's still a comic series with Lion King as well. So basically, Simba had three kids, which a lot of
I
people
remember
don't know
the
about the third kid.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a
Yeah,
kid, there was the sequel with the daughter.
yeah, the daughter. But then he has the daughter and two sons.
Okay,
So you get the Lion Guard, which is about actually the second son that was born. So the first son they had, he's only available through the comics. So
okay,
yeah, so yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
no, no,
I'm
yeah,
excited
yeah.
about it.
That's interesting. I was actually was hoping when I heard that another movie was being made. I was surprised because of all the hate that the first one got. But
Right.
when I heard that they was making another one, I was actually hoping they was just gonna make a live action version of that second movie because I remember I liked that as a kid. The one I think
Yeah,
it was like his daughter, and then I think it was the uncle's son, right? Or was it the uncle's
yeah,
son? Or
yeah. The
okay,
uncle's son.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I remember I really liked that movie as a kid, and I was hoping they was gonna do a
I
live
did
action
too.
version of that, but and then then like I hadn't heard no more, so I thought they had just scrapped the movie, but yeah, now it's a prequel. But I'm interested in that. You know I'm looking forward a bit to it. I was actually hoping they was going to announce that they was going to make a sequel to the Aladdin movie because that was another one that I liked too. I
Yeah.
liked the Aladdin movie. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought that kid who played Aladdin was dope. I thought Will
Mhm.
Smith as the genie wasn't too bad either. Like obviously he wasn't Robin Williams, but he wasn't trying to be Robin Williams. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, I
you
wasn't expecting that out of him. I'm like, it's Will Smith. He's already goofy.
right,
So
right. Yeah, I heard
he's
there's a
throwing
rumor going
random.
around that they was like trying to plan a show around the white guy from that movie, which like if that's true, that's kind of
Oh, dear.
crazy because like,
Yeah.
you know, the one
Yeah.
white guy in the movie you're giving a show to and not like the main.
And
Kaz.
that's what that's what happened with Knuckles, and that's what pissed me off so bad. I was like, "Oh, Knuckles TV show," but then they just based it off the cop that adopted Sonic in the Sonic movie, his assistant. They had based that
Yeah, I
show
saw
off
the
him,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
I
was
saw the show. I
like,
mean, I thought that they tried to balance it, like between both of them, but yeah, I can understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, there was a lot of scenes for the cop, So yeah, no, I can
yeah,
understand. Uh
yeah,
but yeah, no, I think we can head off early here. We had a pretty good run here of just me and you. Don't think Tenzin's coming in, but just whatever. I think we covered pretty much everything that I'd wanted to go over, unless there was anything else. Was it? Oh no, okay. I guess the one thing I did want to talk about
yeah.
was the. I
I
don't
thought
know
there'd
if
be
you
some sort
heard.
of security system.
I don't know if you heard of the story in Detroit with that judge who had that girl handcuffed in his courtroom. Uh,
No.
yeah, it was really messed up. It was he was there was a field trip, I guess, with some like program for students, and the girl, she's like 15, was part of the program, and she kept dozing off in the courtroom during the field trip, and he, I guess, threatened her twice, and she couldn't help it. She kept dozing off, and he had her handcuffed and put in a jail outfit, and then
What?
embarrassed her even further by having her classmates vote on if she should be sentenced to jail. And yeah, the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because thankfully that girl and her mother are now suing that judge, and the judge has been removed from his docket. That dude is a
Wow.
creep, and he is terrible that he traumatized that poor young girl like that. And come to find out, the reason she was tired is because she has to stay up at night most nights because her and her mother are homeless, and they need to keep each other safe during the night. And neither one of them really have a chance to doze off at night. And that is something he would have known if he had treated that girl like a human being instead of trying to win points and then going around telling people that he did it as a way of teaching her respect for her elders. And I think he mentioned something about like his own version of scared straight. That girl was not a criminal.
Wow.
That girl has never had a criminal record.
No.
She was not there for a court case. She was there on a field trip with a program, and she accidentally nodded off a couple times. And she never yelled at him. She never cussed him out, nothing like that. What she was well within her right to do. This man, grown man, decided to bully a little girl. And I hope he loses his job, and I hope they sue him for every penny that he's worth, so that they're eventually living in his house
Right.
and he's on the street struggling to keep his eyes open.
Right. And take his licenses and stuff away, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is
Just
ridiculous.
Yeah, the judge's name, he operates in Detroit. His name is Kenneth King, and he is an abhorrent piece of shit. So just wanted to talk about that because they literally announced today that they were suing him, and I thank God and I hope they win and get every penny from
Right.
it. And yeah, I
Yes.
guess that's a good thing.
Everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So I guess that's a good thing to close the show off with. So it's a short one today, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you did, thank you, Lavendar, for coming through. Shout out to my brothers, Los and Tenzin. You know what it is. We do this every Wednesday at 8. Chill streams, interviews, all that type of good stuff. Lavendar, you got anything pressing or coming up? Let us know.
I will sip tea with some ties. We're hoping to get back as soon as we can. I know we did an episode and then we took a break, but hopefully we'll get back soon. We're always available on Saturdays,
Definitely.
preferably
We
around
gotta
8 p.m.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we around 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we definitely got to link up for that as well. Be sure,
Yes.
be sure, y'all, to my bad, sorry about that. Yeah, be sure to hit up Big John and Slick's podcast. That starts at 9 o'clock. That is the What They Want podcast. Let them know Big John, you know what it is. Yeah, that should be starting up in around 5 minutes or so, I think. Yeah, I think they usually do it at 9. But yeah, y'all got y'all programming for the rest of the week. Yeah, definitely sipping tea with senpais. We gotta hook that up with us and y'all. And but yeah, no, thank you so much, y'all. We like I said every Wednesday at 8. Be sure to catch old episodes either on the Instagram page or on our YouTube page. And peace. Thank you so much. Make sure y'all share this with your friends.
Bye bye.